Good evening. This is Ken Long from Tortoise Capital with a review of some of the trades from the chat room today. This one's from our Euro friends in the DAX and Sonal. You can tell because the charts are so elegant. She gets short on a collapsing dragon and covers. She gets long on an owl and this capital preservation stop, well done. She goes for a pocket. Here's a low, a higher low, and a pocket breakout, an emerging dragon. Basically scratches that. Gets short on an owl, scratches that. Gets long on the pocket, fractional gain. Gets short on the collapsing dragon and an owl. It continues to fail when she gets a collapsing dragon here from the previous swing low. She gets short and then is rewarded for persistence and patience with a huge move on a double scoop and a fantastic exit to capture the Z3 excursion. Very well done. Fortune favors the prepared. Fortune favors the brave. Here's one from Charles on TLT with 10 minutes. He's playing a 1-2-3 short entry after the gap down. Makes a nice exit recovery here. Reverses to get short once more. Plays a 1-2-3. He was looking for an exit here. He was tempted to place it here, but was following his rules and went for an exit at the dragon's belly. Could have played a 1-2-3. In that same area. Well done. Here's one from Jeremy examining a pocket. So we have a swing low, a higher low, entry in the pocket, cash at the owl. Well done. Could have been a pocket re-entry here or in here, but I like this. I like this pocket here and cashing. Very nice. Again, you can see with the MACD histogram that we've got some nice entries right here and here. Some from Lisa. Yesterday's close sells off on these are on 5-minute candles. The McDonald's gets the owl entry. A 1-2-3 entry available here, but I like the patience to hold for the owl. Getting paid on the first trade of the day. Well done. A ready fire aim, essentially an owl entry, and then a scratch. Now, what I want you to notice is the move from 48 to 10. This is an owl entry to the short side right here, and never really was threatened with an exit. There's a massively good trade right here. However, the owl entry is proper and the exit is correct. Another one in Verizon. Same owl pattern. Here's some from Brian. Here's a potential short. This is an owl short with a logical cover. He buys the owl on the next leg and makes an exit here. I would say after a Z3 excursion, especially after that massive one bar, it would be hard for me to stick past the closing bar. But if I was able to and hold on, I think I'd be getting out somewhere in this region because of the Z3 excursions. And I'd be looking at re-entering with the pocket in here because we have a low, a higher low. The RL10 has curled and come back through the dragon. The RL30 stays strong all the way through. And so for me, this location is a very strong pocket. Excuse me. Here's a short side sell and a cover with the owl and a reversal into a buy position. Could have gone here. This is a pocket re-entry because you have a low, a higher low. Here's a pocket, and then if you buy right in here, you have an emerging dragon or a not later than entry. A logical exit somewhere in here with the re-entry here. So the payoff on this one was certainly available, as Brian is noting. Here's one where he's got I consider this a pocket. You have a low, a higher low, and then a buying in the pocket like on a 1, 2, 3. This beautiful entry. Good timing on the exit to cash in that leg, especially with finding resistance where it found resistance before. This is a really good exit. I don't mind not getting short here, but as Brian notes, there's a logical pocket entry and a second pocket entry, and per his notes, there are some more opportunities available, but that's why we study the game film. Last one I want to take a look at is implementation of this MACD histogram on the 10, 30, and 5, and how it correlates to the RLCO patterns above. So we're looking at XIV on 1 minute, so I want you to note the gap up, and then a sideways quiet channel and a Z3 pinch, and that corresponds to this breakout. So we had the MACD line came back to the 0 line and held, and then emerged from this very narrow river for a signal to enter here, and that aligns with the Z3P breakout anyway. Little to no follow through, or actually no follow through. When it rolls over and penetrates this red river to the downside and goes negative, that's a signal for exiting. Could also try to get short here. When it fails to fail further, there's a potential pocket inside here because of the gap up. There's a long side bias, but certainly by the time the MACD line crosses through its own dragon once again, long is indicated here, never really collapses in here. But even if you do get out in this area, the re-entry is signaled here by a MACD histogram crossover and leaving the river above the 0 line, and that's a strong buy signal, and bang, it works. If this got you to exit when it crossed back below the river, then this would get you in and a scratch. You're still above the 0 line and the day is positive, so this crossover allows you to get back in when the MACD line enters the red river. You get long. You get a second position here, you get a third position here, you get a fourth position here, you have a Z2 excursion, then a 1, 2, 3 exit, or not later than the MACD histogram line coming through the red river and locks in here. So we're really liking the way this this indicator down here is helping us smooth out some of the price noises, and so I found that they are reinforcing each other. So that's a quick look at the chat room trades today. The team is really firing on all cylinders right now, and I think this MACD histogram has a lot going for it. I'm showing it on 1 minute, but we're also seeing how it works on 10-minute charts, 30-minute charts, 2-hour charts, daily charts, weekly charts. This is the new strategy, if you will, and we'll be producing some more lessons on this in the near future. So thanks for your kind attention. Oh, let me just pause and pull up the daily report while we're here. Might as well just take a look at it. All right, taking a look at the daily report then for the 18th of September. Let's see, we have bullish normal, overbought and overbought, long and short term. It's been overbought here on MDX10 for quite some time. No signals in channeling. You can see the risk Z has rolled up and still favors the long side and longer term swings. We've got a handful of channelings, washouts, and triple screens, and 1551W and XME, and a handful of auto framers that test out better than 2 to 1. Again, you can see the max pain range compression candidates. Disney's interesting as a doji and a max pain range compression, and 3.4 to 1 on the auto framer. Travelers testing out at 5.3 to 1 and a doji. Strength in the leaders continues. That's Caterpillar and Boeing, so you could look for some momentum plays on those in the absence of other things to do. That's rewarding the winners. In the ETFs, VXX above 2 to 1, silver, gold, and treasuries all firing, and those having channeling and overreactions as well. Pinch and stretch report: Pfizer and Merck and Energy, Chevron all stretched well above their Bollinger Band river. Travelers, Fix, McDonald's have the negative Z stretch below the midpoint of the river. They're still in the river, but stretching at the boundary. The most expanded pinch boxes these are the ones that have had the greatest directional move in the last 30 days, which accounts for an expansion in the width of the river. So Nike and Traveler are in a case by their in a class by their own. The most compressed pinch boxes, these are ones where the river is exceptionally narrow, meaning the last 30 days have been really sideways and channelish. The super pinch takes a number of those symbols and then examines the price of the price value of the four regression lines, 10, 30, 90, and 270, and the ones that are most exceptionally pinched and are featuring their regression lines tightly compressed give us this list. So these are ones that are especially well postured for potential breakouts. All right, so we're going to look at Pfizer and Merck as positive Z stretches, and so we can see that Pfizer on a weekly is in this upward trend and is back to the 270 on weeklies, but the Z stretch takes a look at price relative to the daily. And you can see, yes, exceptional stretch and significant distance away from the RL270. This is one in which we've got positions in here that we want to preserve. Probably, I would say, a stop around 35-ish to lock in those gains. And now looking at Merck. Again, you see extremely positive stretch in Merck over the last 30 days, and that's why the river is so wide. And its Z-score stretch away from the Bollinger Band mean is large. This is a signal to be prepared to lock in. The last two times it was there, price collapsed back to the 270 and then back to the Bollinger Band mean, and that's the move to guard against. So make sure that we're locking those in. Again, you can see just how far this move occurred. I want you to notice when this emerges from the river, that zero line was telling you to buy down here around 62.5. Really nice move in a short period of time. The last time that happened was entries here or even here, and you lock in that move. So and then right here, when the MACD histogram emerges, it crosses over, comes through the its own river, and then emerges. You get entries here, and take your pick on where you want to exit. Looking for negative. Let's look at expanded pinch boxes, Nike and Travelers. Nike, see how wide the river is. Great support down in here. And I would be looking for moves back to 55, almost 56, and then closing the cap, but a failure below 52.5. Now collapses to the bottom. The other expanded pinch box, Travelers. I like the short side trade. I'm ready to go short at about 119.32. I'm ready to go long at 121 with a target of the RL270. And on the downside, I'm looking at 117 and then 115. You can see how this move has caused the RL270 to peak and start to roll over. And signs are pointing to the downside. We'll see how this goes. So again, I like the bi-directional trade on this one. And looking at compressed pinch boxes, let's look at Procter and Gamble and Mexico. Procter and Gamble, nice tightly compressed. And again, I am short a breakdown below 92.80 and long at 94, betting on a continuation play. So bidirectional move is supported. And then a tight compression in EWW, I'm buying this breakdown from below 55. If that happens, then this long move from 45 to 57 is over, and the RL 270 would then act as a resistance level. And then on the way down, you'll notice that the biggest stretch was from 52-ish to about 45, so that's a $7 move. So there's a $7 move available to the downside. We're here about 48. I really think it would have to get through this resistance level in here. So really the short-term target would be in the area of 52 if it collapses tomorrow. So that's everything from Tortoise Capital. A quick look at some standard frames for tomorrow's day and swing trades. Keep your risk measured and your powder dry.